strategy so far. Got it?
All right. So,
well, now that we're live, I guess I got to restart that whole "I'm allergic to water" bit. All right, here.
we'll just save it for the Patreon. You want to know what the title's about? Join our $1.99 a month.
Like $1.99 or $100?
$100.99. You got to really want to know what the story's about.
Oh, I wonder if you could do that as a business strategy, like have a Patreon or like that type of system, and it's like you're just showing the, well, not just behind the scenes, but the entire process of you building your business.
I mean, honestly, I feel like what we're doing, we should be doing either like streaming onto Facebook or like start a Twitch account for this. I don't really know. Honestly.
I already started twitching.
I don't know if YouTube is something that, like, would people sit and watch 5 hours of us just hanging out? I feel like Twitch would be the right audience. It's like people get on Twitch to watch people play games. Like, it's like obviously you have nothing better to do, and you know the demo is like teenagers. Like they're in that in between stage where it's like they're not little kids, so they're like interested in what other people are doing, but they're not like tied down to responsibilities yet. So they just want to watch other people do stuff, but they're not quite ready to do stuff themselves. I feel like there's got to be, like, you know, being like wannabe entrepreneurs that are, you know, might somehow stumble into something from, I don't know, who knows.
I mean, yeah, I see what you mean. I'm just wondering, like, how would we do it? Because if it's any more complicated than just pressing a button on Zoom to stream to Twitch, I don't see us doing it.
Let's see. What is...
Yeah, anyway, we're probably way off topic with this. Should we get to work? You're like, nah.
Yeah, eventually.
Completely missed. If you want, you can go into the document and check out, like, I pretty much outlined the course for the last section we were working on this morning. Given what we discussed, you can have a look at it. Let me know what you think. I'm just suggesting things. At the end of the day, it's like your course, your content, you know the best way to convey that information. I'm assuming, at least.
Yeah. It's over here. It's still preventing. Oh my word. Oops. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. Week 1. Five, 5 times 4 times 3.
Ew. My onion. Or to make an old joke, onion.
Ay,
Oh,
hola.
Tengo que darle cuarto nuevo, ¿verdad?
So I wonder if I can squeeze this down.
Tengo cuarto nuevo a ellos, que ellos se pasaban de un lado para otro. Preguntan.
Sí,
Sí.
Okay.
Ajá,
Ya,
ajá.
ya, ya.
Gracias, doctor.
Gracias.
yeah, I don't have to translate.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm always available if you need to not translate.
Yeah, perfect.
Anytime you want.
You also provide doing the dishes.
No, but I provide not doing the dishes. Once again, 24/7.
Venga para darte cuarto.
All right, sorry for the momentary distraction. Did you need anything from me?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, just talking to my friend. So are we kind of good for this section, or do you still want to work on it before moving on?
I'm still looking.
So are you just thinking, or are you waiting for me?
No, I'm thinking. I'm looking at the.
Okay. Because I thought you were thinking, but then you didn't seem to be doing anything. I'm like, are you waiting for me?
I'm trying. Well, okay. What I'm asking myself is, can I shrink this down to like 4 weeks? One of the things that I've heard from several people is like they want an end date, and they want a clear, concise, like. So I'm wondering, it's like, what are some of the ways I could shrink this down to like, this is gonna take, X amount of days or such and such to complete. And so that people kind of know It's not like an indefinite, like 5 minutes a day until when. Not that like 6 or 8 is a lot of time, but since we're appealing to the kind of person who's like wants it to be done, you know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It makes sense.
I mean, it might
You're
be.
you're the one who knows how long we actually need to execute on this.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of like structuring, it's like, it makes sense like this, but then at the end of the day, it's like, you know how long you actually need to create engagement. I feel like when you're building an audience, like it might take a little more time because like you are creating relationships with those people and it doesn't happen overnight. Or if you want, maybe we can kind of like work on the big outline, just the way it makes sense. And then we can kind of come back in and see, all right, what can we combine? How can we compress it?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like we have a pretty good rough outline for the first section.
Uh-huh.
Just do the same for the other 2 sections. Then we'll have a rough outline for the entire course and we can kind of come back in and see, all right, what's necessary? Do we need to add anything? Can we remove anything? And we can also have like the main track of the course, if you will, that's kind of like fast, that's kind of like a little slower, but it's like, hey, if you want to do this in a third of the time, you can do 3 sessions per day. So instead of being 5 minutes per day, it's 15 minutes per day. Like you have access to the content from the very start, so you can go through it at your pace.
Right. Yeah, so
Or we can have like a slow version or like beginner version and advanced version. So beginner is like 5 minutes per day. Then the advanced is like, hey, if you're advanced and you want to move quicker and get results faster, here's the advanced version.
that's true.
I don't know how much more work that would be on our end, so maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we just need to mention the video like, hey, we structured this for 5 minutes per day. You can go in and do 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes per day. It's up to you.
Yeah.
And then once we start getting feedback, we can be like, you can do whatever you want. But we've seen that the best results seem to come when people do between 5 and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if like 30 minutes a day is too big an ask. Or like 20 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. Because 5 minutes is short enough that if you get them started on that process and they just are in the mode of doing just a tiny bit at a time, then like when you go to the next level of like, okay, 15 minutes a day, it's like the amount of time between 5 minutes and 15 minutes is, in reality, is like so little. It's like you could probably do 45 minutes of work if you have the exact steps in front of you, and it still won't feel that long. I don't know. So grow your group. We're doing invite people to your group, outreach to other groups, your content strategy, post to your groups, post to other groups, engagement scheduling. Let's see here.
Yeah, so now's the fun part. How do you monetize this? What if we tried to structure it so every stage takes a month? So it's like takes a month to grow the group, and it takes a month to monetize the group. It's like
Yeah.
the first part is literally just like setting up the group. That's very simple. You can do it like in 30 minutes if you want.
Yeah.
And then the automation it doesn't require that much work. It's like, hey, find a VA or, you know, do a few small tweaks that allow you to pretty much step away from the business.
Yeah.
Grow your group from 9 members to 900 in 90 days. And make $9,000 bucks.
All right.
Pay us
So,
$9,000 bucks.
well, let's do this for a second. What did we say we were going to charge for this, or try to charge for this?
997, so $1,000 bucks.
997. All right, so this is gonna be 997 times. $1,000 per person. So if we got 6 people.
By the way, let me know if you need help with anything.
Yeah. Okay, so $396 for 3 months is almost $1,200. It's $1,188. So it's like a little bit more than $1,000, and that's like a 3-month program. So it gives you about a month to let them complete each like major. And I feel like it's long enough I don't know, because it's like, you can say like 3 months, I feel like it's like a huge chunk of the year. Feels like there's a really complete end date. It's not a huge, like, expensive.
So you'd want to sell it like as a monthly payment thing instead of,
Well, I think you could offer it as an option, but it's like, let's see, 11.
that could be the, like, the payment option if we want to.
Yeah, yeah, it's like $9.97, all upfront, or like $3.96 in 3-month installments. Or I mean, in monthly installments, 3-month installments.
I'm just wondering, because a lot of courses that are sold for 1,000, like a lot of them have a payment option and a lot of them don't. So I don't even know if you really need to.
Yeah,
I feel like if we give them too many options, it's gonna like overwhelm them.
yeah, I think you're right.
And it's like, maybe some people will reach out and be like, hey, I can't afford that. Can I like split it up? Or maybe down the line we can split test it, but I'm just thinking like in the beginning, the whole point is to keep things as simple as we can to them. So it's like, hey, this is the thing, this is your next step. Rather than it's like your next step is, you know, go buy it. It's like decide if you want to pay all of it now or you want to pay an installment. I feel like every time we ask them to make a choice, it makes it more difficult for them to kind of go through the process.
Yeah, I think you're right. So then if it was a 3-month program, then I feel like you would have enough time to basically, the first month is like prep and launch your group. So you have them go through all the stuff of like figuring out what their engagement calendar is going to be like, maybe create some initial content like welcome videos and that sort of thing, and then actually like create the group, invite people into it, and then the next month is like, okay, now grow this group, and then the 3rd month is monetize it. Like, what's your promo cycle? How are you selling people into the thing? And then or maybe,
I mean, part of me likes it, another part of me doesn't. Because if we structure it and present it as a 3-month thing, some people are like, I don't want to take 3 months to do this. Whereas if we present it as a course and it's like, hey, it's a course, we structured it in this way, you can go through it at whatever speed you want. It's like maybe we're over complicating things.
yeah, I think you're right. A course, because a course has like a finish date. It's like all the tasks you need to like launch, grow, and monetize your group in 5 minutes a day. Just go through the course, and you'll have a group that will get you clients.
Yeah, and I think if we really make it clear, it's like the last part of the course is going to show you how to delegate or automate so that you don't have to keep doing this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So we don't even need to specify how long it takes.
Yeah. Okay, so then maybe the last section is not monetize per se, but like automate or delegate. So it's like, here's the tasks that you put in front of your VA, or like recruit your community to do. Like, you start handing these things off, which are the regular things that you need your community to function.
Oh, what if we found a strategy to get them to find someone within their audience that they're creating to kind of become their VA and run the group for them?
That's
But then they don't even need to go on and hire someone. It's just select someone from within the group who's active, who's participating. And just, hey, like, just be like, hey, do you want like a job? Do you want to run this group for me?
yeah.
I feel like that would be way easier because otherwise we have to like teach everyone. It's like, well, these are the websites you need to go on to find a VA. This is how you hire them. And it's like, it seems overwhelming.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just like, hey, reach out to a few people in your group or even make a post in the group, like a public post of like, hey, in order to serve my clients better, I need to start delegating things and I need someone to be able to run this group for me or with me.
Yeah,
And it's
I
just
would
put a call out and just
say,
kind of go through the process.
yeah, and that can even be listed as a bonus or something that the course covers is like how to hand off running your community to somebody in your community. Or maybe say in a different build your get your community to run itself or something. But but yeah, that's literally it's just the process of like finding the volunteers and then showing them exactly what to do. So if you built in like a, let's see, what I need to do is create a private group that they invite people to, and then show them all the resources of how to fund it. So it's like, here's a done for you group, and then it's like for people who have volunteers who want to learn how to manage a group. Like this is the basics of how to run a group the way that we teach you how to do it. So then,
Because I feel like if we can find a way to either provide the service for them or teach them how to do it within the group that they're building, that's just going to make it so much easier and less overwhelming and daunting for them than, hey, you have to go out and hire a VA. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, recruit someone from your community to do this for you.
Mhm.
Like they might just agree to do it for free, or maybe they'll do it in exchange for a service that you offer. Like maybe you don't even need to pay them. And I think that would be a selling point too, because when you're explaining, it's like, and at the end, we're going to teach you how to delegate to someone in your group, so you don't even have to go out and hire a VA. Like, I think that's going to be a selling point, because a lot of people, when you talk about automation or delegation, they picture, oh, virtual assistant.
Yeah.
And that scares a lot of people. Because that makes the offer even more irresistible. So it's like, we're going to show you how to build, to launch, to grow, to monetize your group. And then on the back end of that, we're going to teach you how to use your community that you created to run the group. So you don't even have to do it.
Okay.
See, the beauty of this is all I have to do is come up with the ideas. You're the one who has to figure out how to do it.
Thinking about okay, so a lot of this stuff. Welcome video.
Oh, cool. Launch, grow, monetize, automate, LGMA.
Launch, grow, monetize, automate.
Dude, you know what the beauty of this is? We've developed so many skills over the year that now we can come up with ideas like this.
Mhm.
And we know we're going to be able to figure out a way to make it happen. Whereas most people, it's like, oh, that would be great, but I don't know how to do that, so I can't offer that service. So I think like our journey has been very delayed, but at the same time, now we have the skills to do anything that we want. We're literally limited by our imagination. And unfortunately for us, our imagination is far from being limited. All right, I'm going to shut up now and let you concentrate. Psych.
All right, so if we use the IGMAC thing, IGMAC, so initiate your group, grow your group, monetize your group, automate your group, and then celebrate, like you're done.
Ooh. Building your Facebook group can be as easy as LGMA.
LGMA.
And it's literally 4 steps. 3 if you already have a group.
LGMA. So you grow, monetize. Okay. I'm going to So let's go to the monetize section. Monetize. What do I need to do? I need to do a promo. Oops. Promo post. Oh, nice.
Oh. I wonder. Sorry, I was just coming up with an idea because you said promo, and I'm like, that made me think of a joke like, oh, it's good to be promo, like you don't want to offend like the homosexual. And that led me to think like, what if we niche down to that level? And then I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. But what if we created a different version for everyone? So it's like, how to launch your 5-foot group in 5 minutes for stay-at-home moms, how to launch your, do that for gay entrepreneurs or whatever. It's like, narrow down so the person's like, yes, that's exactly me. But at the end of the day, it's the exact same course. It's just different funnel, different wording. But it's like, would that strategy work?
I think so. And what I would do is literally just create a new group for each of those niches. You just have smaller subgroups of people, smaller communities, and then you just reuse the same resources inside of the group. So it's like once you have the resources built out for the free group, like you can probably get it down to like build out a new group for a niche in like an hour. And so like if you realize like you're in a group for like mompreneurs who are like, they have kids, but then they do their business at night on the side. It's like you could create that group as essentially a pop-up group for that community. So you introduce yourself into that community. You say, hey, I'm about doing a resource showing you how to create a client getting group. And then you just grow a small community. And then, dude, this is what I should be doing. Because once you create the content one time, you can reuse it over and over. And
like the 4-hour work week that he just like 4-hour work week for writers, 4-hour work week for whatever.
Yeah. And then it's like, once you've done it a couple times where X amount of work gets me X amount of money, you can hire a VA to like create those. And honestly, I was thinking this the other day. It's like, if you just went into groups and kind of targeted, like hyper targeted that group based on what that group wants, and then you just have the same system that you promised them, but you promise it to that particular group in the language that they want. It's like you could build like 3 businesses a day and get, a handful of clients. And if you build it in a way that's like, if you build it in a way that's repeatable,
In fact, this made me realize maybe we should start like drilling down from the start. So I was just using like mothers as an example, but it's like, hey, if you're a single mother who has a business, you don't have a lot of time.
right.
5 minutes per day is perfect for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, I was gonna.
Now that probably doesn't make sense for us because we're not single mothers. And single mothers would identify way more with single mothers. So it's like, if we were single mothers, it's like, hey, we have kids and we're overwhelmed, we don't have the time. So I was like, how can I do this? I only have like 5 minutes per day. And that's when I decided, okay, I can just do this in 5-minute increments. And I did all the testing and I figured out the system that works. So all you have to do is 5 minutes per day. It's like, that sells itself because you're sharing the story of this is how the product came to be. Whereas us, it's like 2 random guys who just had an idea. It's like, well, it doesn't sound as sexy. Maybe we need to target lazy male entrepreneurs. Who like to talk a lot of crap but not do much work. Or I mean, maybe we don't need to focus on one specific market, but when we target that market, as an example, like, you know, single mothers who are entrepreneurs, it's like, hey, we know how overwhelming it can be to have kids and have to do everything yourself. This course would be perfect for you. So even though we're not like them and we didn't create it for that specific purpose, it's still the exact thing that fills the exact need that they have. Or we can just hire an actress who can be the front of the business.
What do you think we would do for monetize?
Anyway, yeah, we're probably getting off track.
I feel like I need to do this name of here. And tools. Consistent wins. That's engagement calendar. Here, simple how. Social proof. Story. Welcome video. Video. Customer. Raise posts. Promo, cycle. Calendar. Welcome. Culture. Welcome culture and onboarding. How valuable is it to members? All right. Ah, that's what I'm missing. That's my magic sauce. I think I may have just figured something out. Number 5. Engagement. source. That's it. And primary, let's see, major objections. All right, this is good. I'll be right back.
This is good. Peace. I'm out. Speaking of this is good. This potato salad is amazing. And again, it's probably because I've been making it every day for the last like week and a half. But it keeps evolving. It's gotten really good. By the way, for anyone not watching, because no one's watching, did you know that they made white Snickers? Yep, white chocolate Snicker bars. They're actually really good. It's funny because in Canada, we don't really have white chocolate bars, or they're very rare, at least not white chocolate versions of like normal everyday bars. It's like some random weird name. Welcome back. Just talking about white Snickers bars for the
White
racist among.
Oops.
By the way, what did you realize before? Because there was a moment where you're like, oh, and you just realized something.
Well, I wrote out like all the stuff that you need to do for your group, like this, everything. I did this on the call I did with Haley. It's like this is all the stuff basically, and so I'm trying to come up with all of the tasks, but actually like the bare bones of what needs to be there is right here. So instead of trying to list out every single possible thing that you could do with a Facebook group, it's like, no, the core main things that have to be there, it's these. And so now I'm looking at, and there's like 21 things. So now I'm like, okay, I need to crunch it down even more. I'm seeing like 5 or 6 of these things are like all things that you need to cover in your welcome. So if you have like a script for the welcome video, and he's like, okay, tell us this thing, tell us this thing, tell us this thing. Because what these things deal with is, well, long story short, I think I just found a way to make this thing way shorter and a lot less things to do. And so then it may actually look more like the key to getting a group that like makes sales is like the one thing that everybody misses when they launch their group, which is you need a good welcome video. And like that's my area of expertise. Like I've done video for 20 years. Like you can't get a better person who is, can tell you all the ins and outs. Like that might be the hook. Is like if you get this one thing right, your Facebook group will make sales and grow itself, and you don't have to touch it. I mean, as a copywriter, sitting down and looking at the like all the things that you need to do, like the product, and like that's the magic. It's like, because that ties in my area of expertise with, like, if you're trying to build culture, how do you do that? You've got to communicate information. What's the most effective and efficient way to communicate information? It's like, well, if in the onboarding video, the very first thing that everybody sees, they all have to see that one video in order to get access to the content, there you go. Like, they've just found out everything that they need to know to be an ideal member of the community. And if they want the result that you're promising them, you say, you have to be this kind of person to come in. You say yes to that, and then I'll help you. And so then they're already thinking, what, like, I'm setting the cultural expectations. Like, you want to be a good group owner that makes money, it's like, be a welcomer. You have to do that in your own group. So practice it here. All it takes is 1 second. Look at the last person who joined in the welcome thread and say, welcome them. This is just as much your group as it is my group. So it's like, look and say, hey, Josh, welcome to the Launch Your group. Glad to meet you. What, tell me about yourself. And just like build in the connection mechanisms into something that everybody's going to see. And like, if I can shrink this whole thing down to where it's like, the welcome video is like 3 minutes, it tells them what they need to know, what they need to do, and who they need to be. Then like everybody who's like not up for that, they're out. And then the people who, every time I ask them to do something, be like, hey, remember you wanted to make sales because you wanted to have a group where there's a real community that exists? Like, this is why to do this next step. So you're just constantly reminding them of the person that they want to become every time you ask them to do stuff.
I like it. So this is the secret sauce. Like, this is what makes everything work. Our course is going to walk you step by step, every single thing you need to do to set up your group and grow your group and monetize and automate. But it's like, this is the one thing that ties everything together and makes it all possible.
So sort of like, this could be like, this itself could be like a low ticket workshop. It's like, create a stellar welcome video for your Facebook group and see your sales increase. And then the back end of that could be like, hey, you want to know exactly how to run client getting Facebook group in like 5 minutes a day with like the exact tasks and like the content pre-built out for you. Then it becomes like a really easy sell. But like the main, like one of the biggest moving parts that they need to get right is like actually already done, or at least they've gotten a lot of the stuff. And then the other thing is like, a lot of this stuff is engagement calendar stuff. So like I'm grouping the tasks based on
So should this be like the free training that brings them into the ecosystem rather than, hey, launch your group in 30 minutes?
No, I don't think so. I think the like I think we need to, like, the first thing that people are really wanting is like, just basically get to me. Like, what's the bare minimum of commitment? And if it's like, I don't have a lot of time, 30 minutes.
What if this is the secret? Like, all our messaging always like hints and talks about like this secret one thing is going to make all your efforts worthwhile when it comes to Facebook group. It's like, we keep bringing that back, bringing it up, teasing it, talking about, where we never reveal what it is. The only way to get access to it is to buy something from us, whether that's the course, whether it's a strategy session, whatever it is. It's like, we keep talking about it, but we never reveal a secret until after they buy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I just grouped this stuff into, this is great. So all the things that that really need to be there, like to build the culture, it falls into two major categories, which is like the stuff that needs to be clear in the welcome video,
Mhm.
or in like teaching guides, but it's like you could technically do everything in a welcome video. The trick is like, how do you get it short enough and tight enough that somebody will watch it all the way through and actually like learn something
Of
from it.
like the webinar versus the 5-minute webinar.
Right, exactly. But like, if you can share your story and the transformation, like how you're different from what it is that you're offering. Talk about the clear community outcome. So that's what your story does. It's like it shows the transformation. So here's what the outcome is to expect from this community. Sharing that if you have questions and stuff, we're directing them to a help thread. I don't know if that needs to be in the welcome video, honestly.
What if that is the story? This right here. We're like, hey, I was creating this course to teach people how to launch, grow, monetize, and automate their Facebook group in 5 minutes per day. And as we were building it out, there was this moment where I realized this one thing that I've been doing without realizing it is the key to everything. It's that magic sauce, that secret that makes everything work. And with that one discovery, the course went from being worth $1,000 to being invaluable. That one secret alone can make you more money than any course ever could. And because it's so valuable, we decided to build the entire course around that one principle. It's like, that's a way more engaging story than you can build your Facebook group in 5 minutes per day. And it's like, it's that, then on top of that, with like that story and that emotional buildup and that secret and the mystery, it's like, okay, 5 minutes per day, but that's like worthless. What's that secret?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if we, man, that is the magic of an irresistible offer. You take what you think is an irresistible offer and present it in such a way that what seemed irresistible before becomes worthless in comparison to that new thing.
Yeah. Dang, you're right. It's like every action sells the next action. So it's like the ad, you're just trying to sell the click. Once you get to the land page, it's like you're just trying to sell them to read to the next line. You know, once you get down to the bottom, it's like you're just trying to get them into the free webinar. And when you're in the webinar, you're just trying to sell them on the big domino idea. And then like when you get them on so that's what we need to do. So the name of the group is like launch a group in 30 minutes. So we already have people who know the value of the group.
Something with secret, like secret Facebook groups, 5 minutes Facebook group secrets, or something of like, you're getting the secret in this. Like, it's like we're using that 5-minute strategy to teach you, but the real value is that one secret, that one principle that ties everything together.
Well, I think that's what I did. I think that's what I did with my hand raise post is I said the outcome in black and white. It's like you're gonna launch a Facebook group in 30 minutes. But what I said is like I'm creating a resource showing you how to do that. So for anybody who wants a group who hasn't done it because who knows why, you know, in their head, what I'm doing is I'm opening the loop and like, I know how I can show you how you can get what you want in like 30 minutes or less. That is a secret to them. It's unknown for them. So you're right. It's like that works really well. And so I think the outcome is clear enough that it's like we can get them into the group, which we're only attracting people who want to build a group. So now the next thing would be the first thing that they all see, which is the welcome video that they all need to be tagged in, like, I was building this course. I'm putting together all the things. So all you have to do is watch a video. It's 1 5-minute task. You can do it as you're watching the video. So you can go through and do the basic steps you need to do in less than half an hour to start a group. But what I realized is like this one thing can change everything about how easy it is for you to make money and get people to take action and actually build real community inside your group. And if you want to know what that thing is, and if you want to be the kind of person who makes lots of sales from your group and doesn't have to do a lot of work because your group is like nurturing new members coming in, it's like, in order to find out what this #1 thing is, like, it's the very next thing that you need to do. And if you can't spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, like going through doing the task, like 5 minutes a day, you'll have your group built this week. Do that process, and you can find out like what this big secret is to making a difference between groups that have a lot of members but no engagement versus groups where there's like hundreds of posts a week, people are making money, the group owner is making money, everybody's just making money and connecting with like really aligned. It's like, what is that thing? What makes the difference? And I realized it's one thing. And if you do this one thing right, I promise you, your business is going to change. But you don't need to know this thing if you don't have a group. So that's why, like, we have the training. It's like, spend 30 minutes. You could do it right now. You could sit down and do all 5 videos in like 25 minutes and get your group up. And then click on the, like, if we put this in a thing that, like, a course that doesn't unlock it doesn't unlock that step until they've done the other steps. I don't know. Or maybe, no. What we should do is like post in the group when you've done it. It's like, here's the post, like, right, I've built my group and invite me to your group. And then or like something, like whatever is like the stupidest easy thing to do. Come back and like this post when you've done it.
I'm just wondering, like, how do we structure this? Because if we kind of like sell the secret and we're like, hey, go watch this webinar, and it's like people are like, well, I want to learn the secret on the webinar, otherwise I'm disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
if it's like, hey, go learn this secret that makes everything work, and then they watch it and at the end it's like, I need to pay for it, they feel cheated. So how can we get them to go to the webinar without revealing the secret on the webinar?
I mean, honestly, well, wait, say that again. How can we get them to pay for something without
Because
reviewing?
in order to incentivize people to go to the webinar, it's like, hey, we've discovered this amazing secret that ties everything you could ever do together when it comes to building your group. Like, go watch this webinar, we're going to teach you how. It's like, then they were going to expect to learn it on the webinar rather than being sold a product where they were then going to get.
Right.
So how do we incentivize them to watch the webinar? Because like, if it's just like, hey, we're going to teach you how to, grow, monetize, and automate your Facebook group in 5 minutes per day, then that's the webinar. That's what we teach in the webinar. And in the webinar, then there's like, hey, we're building out this course and we discovered this amazing secret that makes it all worthwhile. And that makes this course go from being worth $1,000 to being invaluable. So It's like, when you sign up, you get the course plus you unlock this secret. So it's like, then there's like extra value, extra incentive to get the course. But if we reveal the secret before the webinar, then there's going to be automatically that sensation of letdown or of trickery. It's like, how do we avoid that? Or maybe the secret is just the strategy to make the webinar convert.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the only purpose of the secret.
Yeah, I think the purpose of the secret is to get the webinar to convert. But the thing is, like, that the reason you get them into a webinar is to create some belief patterns with them. So it's like, well, if I just tell you you need a good welcome video, you're like, oh, well, that's not exciting. But if I explain to you like the complex community dynamics behind why it's crucial for you to have a welcome video that shares your story so that people understand the transformation that they're getting out of your community, they understand what kind of person they need to be a good fit, and you outline their customer journey, and you build the foundational welcome culture, the minute that they step into your group, well, then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I do need a welcome video that does all that. And you're like, now this isn't something you can do in 5 minutes. If I could show you this in 5 minutes, I would. But because every business is different, you need to make sure that you're saying it in a way that makes sense for your people. And we have, like, if you want like if you buy our a course, or maybe it's just like, if you want the exact template and like a mini course on how to structure your video, it's like $27 or something. But like this comes as a part of our like our membership, which is just like run your group in 5 minutes a day. We actually have like a group workshop where we help you build out your welcome video, and we help you build out your engagement calendar so that you can run your group in 5 minutes a day. If you don't do this right, then you're going to add a whole bunch more work where you're constantly having to indoctrinate your people by creating long form content and re-engaging people. It's like, you can, if you give them the right information at the start, and you hit all of these notes, then it's possible for you to run a Facebook group that gets clients and make sales in 5 minutes a day.
I'm just wondering, is there a way to use this secret as either an upsell or a fast action bonus? Of like, you know, you get access to the training, the course, everything, all the bonuses and the secret, but if you upgrade to, like, I don't know, $1,200 or $1,300, whatever like the upgrade is, you get the secret version of this course that comes with bonus.
I don't think a secret is a good tactic for like an upsell. Like, it needs to be really immediately apparent. Like, you could do the webinar and educate them on why the welcome video is the unique mechanism that makes the Facebook group like work. And then the upsell would be something like, hey, you want our process to really quickly build out your engagement calendar so that your group is constantly getting engagement without you having to post stuff all the time. It's like, people already know they want engagement. So by you just saying this is about engagement, they're like, oh yeah, I need that. If you offer something new that's like a curiosity, or like they don't understand what it is, it won't work as an upsell. I mean, I think the conversions will be lower. I wouldn't say that wouldn't work, but it's like, your odds are much better when your audience already understands that they need that. And so, like,
Okay.
bumps
How about
are things that
instead of,
obvious, immediate yes.
how about instead of an upsell, if it's a fast action bonus? I'm like, hey, we're going to share the secret. It's incorporated into the course. But we created this separate mini course or this separate training where we get access to this, I don't know, workshop that we run every weekend or whatever. And it's like, if you buy within the next 60 minutes, you get this bonus. So it's kind of like it shares this, like you get the secret no matter what. That's what is convincing them to buy, but it's like kind of like the simplified version of the secret is like, hey, let's show you exactly how to incorporate this secret as a major business strategy for increased success. Like something like that, that just kind of like incentivizes them to buy even more. Because the secret is like, it adds extra value. But if we can add urgency into that as well, then
Yeah.
it's going to convert even better.
Yeah. Ah, man, I think this is really good.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I don't think an upsell would be good because then they feel like cheat. It's like you're selling me on this secret and then you're telling me that the base version like doesn't even have it.
yeah, I think the thing is like you already know you need to have a group. You're already sold on that idea. I don't need to convince you that you need a group to grow your business. What I'm helping them understand is like the thing that makes my groups different is the quality of onboarding by having a really constructed welcome video that's managing expectations and setting up the culture of your group. Because like then you set yourself apart from the competition. It's like nobody else is advertising that this is an important part of the process. Like this is the unique thing. It's like Facebook groups by themselves is not a special strategy. Like having a Facebook group instead of a instead of like a list is an interesting spin, but it's like that doesn't make it unique because you could go to anybody who has a Facebook group. But yeah, I think this as the secret that gets them onto the webinar is going to be really valuable. And then highlighting that like this particular thing is what I specialize in and what we include as a major part of our 3-week group launching or group course, like 5-minute Facebook group course. And so then it's like, okay, so then you have, that is one task, 1, 2, I mean, this should already be launched, but then, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we really only have like 6 major tasks to accomplish. Like you've got to create a feedback mechanism in your group. So like a help thread, you can do that in 5 minutes. You need to record a welcome video. If you have the right script and if you have the right information of what needs to go in that welcome video, you could record your video in 5 minutes. So that's like another thing.
What if that was it? What if the fast action bonus could be the script? It's like, hey, this is the secret, but if you buy within the next 60 minutes, we're going to give you the exact script that we use for a welcome video. I'm just wondering, like, is this secret a good idea? Or is it just like, we present it in such a way, it's like we reveal this secret in the webinar. So it's like, we can use this secret to promote the webinar, get more people to sign up. And at the same time, they get value. It's like, hey, we're creating this group, you know, how to build and monetize and everything, your Facebook group in 5 minutes, which is already amazing. But as we were doing it, we realized the one thing that makes all of this work, that makes Facebook groups in general work, is the introduction. And you're like, that's what I'm an expert at. That's what we the entire course around once we realize that. And it's like, you really sell them on that. So it's like build your Facebook group in 5 minutes is what kind of like, it's what they think they're getting. But then they realize like what I'm getting is actually way more valuable than that. And it's like, if he already shared his secret with us now, like this course is invaluable. So it's kind of like almost better, I think, to reveal a secret. It's like, hey, we found this one secret thing, and you can stretch it out a bit, and then you actually reveal the secret in the webinar. And you
Yeah.
can even share the story of like, we considered keeping this a secret and not revealing it until after you purchased and you got access to the course. But we want to help people. We want to provide value. So here is a secret right now. And it's like they trust you because of that. And at the same time, it adds value because it's like, I'm explaining why this is so valuable. The course that I created will show you step by step, 5 minutes per day, how to do exactly that.
Mhm.
And if you act in the next 60 minutes, you get the exact script that we use to create our welcome video.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's even more of like an evolutionist story. And at the same time, like you're kind of like breaking the rule by like revealing the secret sauce now.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, it makes them want more because it's like, I know what this is. I know how valuable this is. I want to learn how to do it. So we reveal the secret, but we withhold the strategy. We withhold the technique of how to implement this. So it's like the product is how to launch, grow, monetize, and automate your Facebook group in 5 minutes per day. The secret sauce is the welcome process. We built the entire course around that. That is the core principle that makes it all work. Just like by explaining that, they're like, okay, I understand the simple step by step. It makes sense. It's not overwhelming. I'm going to learn all these things, and I'm going to get the secret that's built into this core of this entire product. And it's like that makes it stand out from any other course, because up until now, our strategy, or like our distinction factor was do it in 5 minutes per day. Whereas now it's like do it in 5 minutes per day, plus it's based on that secret strategy that no one else is using.
Mhm.
Man, this is good.
Yeah, this is starting to become like an actually marketable product. I think this is the thing that like I've been watching Felix market his membership, and I think the only thing that really differentiates, like in the way that he's talking about it right now, the only thing that really differentiates him from anybody else who's doing this is like him. Whereas, I mean that's really the honest truth about any business. It's like everybody has variations on how they're going to get the outcome, but it's like you say what makes you different in a way where it's a thing and not you being the person showing up. And it's like this is what makes it really unique, and you find a way that genuinely kind of like sets it apart from other things, because it's like, you know, a step-by-step process that shows you exactly what to do in your business, and it's going to be an app sometime. It's like, I think everybody who teaches you how to build a business has some sort of step-by-step process. I don't think they've really found a compelling hook yet that makes the product like a Insta-buy.
Yeah, the 5 minute structure of the course is good. It's valuable, it's attractive, but it's a gimmick.
Right.
And people can tell it's a gimmick. So it's like, okay, if they need to buy a course that can teach them how step by step, like they're going to take the one that takes 5 minutes per day over the one that's like less structured.
Yeah.
But it's not like, it's not that original.
Mhm.
It's like, if that's what kind of like lures them in, it's like, raise your hand if you want to build a Facebook group in 5 minutes per day. Whenever you raise their hand, it's like, all right, you want to do this. This is the strategy we're using. But what makes it all work is this principle. And that's what makes it unique.
Yeah. And I really like this idea, because what we just figured out is like, if you have a process to launch a group in 30 minutes, then what this allows us to do is split tests across groups. I can make a new welcome video for each single one to really refine this welcome video mechanism to like just a killer. It's like, what's the thing that really gets people immediately taking action and connecting to each other and buying? It's like we can keep iterating the actual mechanism that we're selling and then have across, be like, we've tested this across 43 different groups with 8 different types of welcome videos. And we can show you that the thing that makes the biggest like just having data is such a huge selling tool. Having numbers to like point to. And then if we're doing it with a group, if we're doing it with students, like every single group that they launch, that I'm gonna tell them, if you would like me to do a quick audit of the group, be like, hey, I'm gonna go down the checklist and give you a thumbs up or this is missing. They can add me to their group, so then I can see what they're doing. So that's more data, like Facebook groups that are using this system, that we can see how well that performs.
Oh, that could be another, if you want like a fast action bonus, like, hey, if you purchase within the next 60 minutes, I'll personally go into your group and tell you, like, just do like a review of like, hey, everything looks good, just do these, like tweak these 3 things and you'll be good.
Man,
So it's kind of like a review that could be a bonus that unlocks once they complete the course. It's like, hey, once you're done the course, you can book your review session and I'm going to go into your group and review it. So it forces them to go through the course, because otherwise they don't get that bonus.
Right.
And at the same time, only people who have completed the course will book that. So you don't have to waste your time with people who haven't done the work.
Okay, so what it should be is like, I'll offer my time, essentially the like get on a free call kind of thing, whatever form that's gonna eventually take, but like the audit is the thing that gets them to take action. So it's like, hey, I will come and review your group. You have to have a group. So if you want me to give you a suggestion on how to make your business make more money, it's like, go do these steps. Launch your group. Asking for help.
I don't know if we're able to set that up in ClickFunnels, but if we set it up in such a way that it's like the bonus unlocks only once they've gone through the entire course and completed every single exercise. Like, I know that on other platforms it's possible. On ClickFunnels, I don't know how it works. I haven't tried yet.
I would say as soon as we get some paying members, I probably would post the course on ClickFunnels. Like, I have a platform that I've been looking at for a while that I really like, because it does a lot of. But I don't know. We might just try it inside of ClickFunnels to see how it works. But
because I feel like if we'll have to look into it to figure out exactly what's the best strategy, but if we can run everything on ClickFunnels, we save so much time, because if we want to run the newsletter on a different platform, we have to integrate everything. And get response turns out kind of sucks and it's expensive. So if we take another alternative that's cheaper, then we need a service like Zapier or something like that to connect the two. So it's like we need to pay for that other service plus whatever Zapier is going to connect. And then if we do the same for the hosting platform for the website, or for the course, and it's like it's another thing that we need to integrate. Whereas if we run everything on ClickFunnels, like on ClickFunnels, we have the funnel, we have the newsletter, we have the course platform and the members area, and we have the affiliate network. If we run everything on ClickFunnels, it's going to make it much easier. Like, I'm going to have to look to see how good it is and how simple it is, but I feel like if we can do that, that would probably be the best strategy. I mean, unless, we have good reasons to use another system. But it's just like, I've done so many different systems and I know like the headache of using a ton of different systems. And it's like, if we can centralize it, it's going to make it so much easier.
Mhm.
Especially since, like, if we run everything on ClickFunnels, we don't need any like link tracking software. All the stats are going to be within ClickFunnels. So it's like, we know, how many people went to the opt-in page and how many people opted in, how many people went to the webinar, how many people converted, how many people like open the emails on the back end. It's like, we can track everything in one central place.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, I don't know, it might be a little more expensive, but I just feel like it's going to be so much simpler. And I prefer maybe paying a little more if, ClickFunnels works for everything, just to have everything centralized. Yeah, because like, I don't want to have to deal with like running 4 or 5 different like softwares and platforms and everything. It's like, I've done it and I don't want to do it again.
Well, that is something that like I don't mind. Like that was my job at the other the last job that I had was basically like getting a bunch of platforms to talk to each other.
I mean, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
It's just every time you need to go through the process of learning, all right, how do I integrate those, making sure that it's properly integrated, testing everything. Whereas if it's all in the same platform, it's like, all right, just go through the cycle as if you were a client and test that everything's work. Yeah, okay, you're done. And it's like different platforms. Sometimes like they update something and the link stops working and you don't know it stopped working. And it's like the pipeline is broken and it takes you like 2 weeks to figure it out. So anyway, I mean, we'll look into whatever makes more sense. I just feel like the simpler and the more centralized we can get, the better.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's where I would say like what I know about community and about like the complexity of getting people to take action. That's why I would choose like doing something on a very specialized platform versus posting it on.
Well, I'm gonna have to do some research, see how advanced like the course building features are on ClickFunnels.
Yeah, actually, let's do
Pretty
that.
simple. Like, we can put videos, we can put buttons, we can, like, I'm assuming there's like marking stuff as complete, and it's like we can break it down in sections. It seems pretty straightforward, and we don't want to do anything very complicated anyway.
Let's see here.
Are we getting off track? Should we be focusing on building the course?
Probably. Documentation. I mean, when I had ClickFunnels and I was going through their course, like I kind of hated their interface.
Like, have you purchased the Secrets Trilogy?
I have the audiobooks, but I don't have. I didn't buy it through. I just bought it on Audible, so I don't have any of the bonuses.
Because I'm looking here on the back end of this, and it's it's basically an online course. And it's posting ClickFunnels and everything. Let me just log in right now. And it's
Share your screen.
I'm on my computer, so let
Oh,
me just
yeah,
show you
no
my screen. Old school. I don't know how well you can see, but it's like, there's different sections and you can open and close, and then different parts that you can open. It's really like any normal course that you would have. So it seems pretty straightforward. The only thing we need to check is like marking a lesson complete.
Mhm.
If we can do that, like we pretty much have everything that we need. So as long as we can mark lessons complete and like unlock, like set timers for unlocking stuff, we'll be good. And I mean, like, even if we don't, like marking lessons complete, that I'd say that's pretty important, because then you can have like a progress bar and it's like, all right, you're 50% done or whatever. Like people are used to that, and it seems a little weird if you don't have it.
Yeah.
If ever we can't unlock something after they complete the course, like it's not the end of the world,
All right, let's see. Let's get back to the course. Ooh,
Seems like it. How to add ClickFunnels progress bar element. Although that's for. No, okay, that's different. That's not what I wanted. I don't know if we can, but we can at least put like an amount of time of like, if they're on the page for 5 minutes, it's going to mark the lesson as complete.
mhm. What's the affiliate commission for ClickFunnels?
It's 40%, but I think is it ClickFunnels? Yeah, I think ClickFunnels, like you won't get accepted immediately. Like there's certain things you need to do, like you need to have made a sale or something like that on their platform in order to be able to be accepted as an affiliate. I only got accepted because I was part of that other guy's program, and he has like a special deal with ClickFunnels that his students get automatically accepted.
Hmm. Okay, so launch. Oops.
Uh, I just realized something. Even if there isn't like manual, like complete button within ClickFunnels, we
Mhm.
can just set it with a timer, and it's like to save you time and make it easier for you. We set a timer so every lesson is automatically completed once the amount of time has elapsed. So once, like, let's say the video like is 3 minutes and then the other video is 5 minutes, it's like we've set it up so after 8 minutes, it's automatically going to be marked as complete. So you just need to go through. You don't even need to consider like, oh, I need to mark the lesson complete. It's going to do it automatically. It's like, even though it's kind of like us cheating, we can present it as like, we made your life simpler, so you don't need to mark the lesson complete. We've built in a timer so that it does it automatically for you as soon as you're done watching the video.
Yeah.
So I guess either way, we should be fine.
All right, let me see. Maybe there's a better way to do this.
Let me know if you need help. I'm just researching stuff on the back end. Hold on, let me just mute you. I need to listen to this part. I hate trying to figure stuff out like this. You start watching a video and you never know if there's going to be the information you're looking for. How's it going on your end? Do you need any help?
I don't think so. I think this is making the course way simpler and a lot more concrete. It's like because what you were saying earlier about like breaking up the engagement calendar into like smaller tasks, and what I'm realizing is like once I've done it once, I can create like a template or a format. It's like insert this kind, like basically make a lot of the stuff into something that is a template or something that they can use themselves. So a lot of it can be kind of spaced out, and then so yeah, I think this is good.
So week 0, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 1. Nice. So after week 3 it goes back to week 1. Cool. Oh yeah, that's way simpler.
Trying to like I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything, but I think this is going to be, I think this will fit in like 4 or 5 weeks. Well, 5 weeks, 5 minutes, 5 weeks, 5 days a week.
Like the whole course, 4 to 5 minutes. Wow. So it's not even build like do everything in 5 minutes per day. It's do everything in 5 minutes total. All right, well, I'll let you keep focusing and I'll try to figure this out on the back end. Yeah, okay, so the ClickFunnels membership area seems somewhat limited. Unfortunately, I don't know how it would work if we use another software. So it's like, let's say we use a different platform. How does it work if we have upsells? Of like, if they buy an upsell, like, how do we make sure so only people who buy the upsell get the upsell added to their account and not everyone else? Like if it's in ClickFunnels, that'll be super easy to set up. With other platforms, I have no idea how that works.
Hmm.
It seems like ClickFunnels membership is very basic.
Mhm.
And from what I'm seeing, like there doesn't seem to be any progress features whatsoever. So it's like you can set up on the back end so you personally see how much of the course they completed by which pages they were on and like putting a timer of like they need to spend 5 minutes on this page for it to count as complete. So you see that, but on the front end, they don't see anything. All they see is the course content. So they don't know what has been completed. They don't see how far they've progressed. And that seems very limiting. Like that seems like something we need.
Yeah, I think it's really important.
So I'm going to keep looking. I'm probably going to reach out to support just to make sure because I'm trying to research it on Google and I'm not finding anything. But maybe it's just no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reach out to see, but I think that's going to be the make or break. Like if they don't have that feature, I
Mhm.
think we're going to have to go with another platform.
Well, I mean, for the immediate, like for like right now, it feels like doing it inside of a Facebook group seems to make a lot of sense. And then if we feel like we're having trouble with like course completion, like then looking at other systems of like here, like things that will help with that, I think are an option. I mean, I would like to invest in something like that just because I think the user experience would be so much better. But again, it's like that's what I want. I don't know if what the actual customer base wants will be actually satisfied in just like if it's short enough videos, like they'll want to do it. But we'll see. We'll see.
So you mean like host a course within Facebook?
Yeah, it would be like a private Facebook group. So like once they've bought the thing.
Honestly, I don't think that's a good idea because if I put myself in their shoes, if I'm buying $1,000 course,
Mhm.
I'm not expecting it to be inside Facebook. I'm expecting it to be inside a professional looking members area.
Gotcha.
And it's like, even then, like ClickFunnels doesn't seem that professional just because of the limited features. Like the look, we can modify it so it looks nice, but it's like if there isn't that progress feature, it seems like, what is this, you know?
Yeah, the the course it's usually most courses have a like a private Facebook community that comes along with the course. I mean, a lot of the memberships and stuff that I've joined have. It just feels like having the course material around in the Facebook group where you can connect around it. The other thing we could do is um,
I just
here,
feel like that would be more like, well, first of all, there's the fact that it doesn't look as professional. And second of all, I feel like if they're in Facebook for the course and then they're trying to build a like group in Facebook, it's like they need to open like two Facebook tabs. It seems weird to me. But maybe I'm just biased. I don't
I don't know. Here's this is the thing that I was thinking. I've been wanting to host a course on this for a long time. I started demoing it for another thing I was building. I really like their platform a lot for course hosting, but take a look at it and see what you think. But like I said, like a lot of this is predicated on like who we have and how many sales we have, and you
know.
know.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. 'Cause the thing is, in ClickFunnels, like a lot of platforms, you need to host the videos yourself.
Mhm.
It's like we can use YouTube, but then like that seems very amateurish when you like buy a course and they're hosted on YouTube. So
Yeah.
that means either we need to like pay for, Wistia or like whichever version of that we want. Or I'm wondering, like, do certain course creation platforms allow you to host the videos directly on their platform?
Mhm.
Because like if we have to pay for it either way, then it might be worth doing a little research to see which platforms allow us to host the videos directly on there.
Yeah.
So that's even if we're not necessarily saving money, at least we don't have to like host the videos and then connect the two and pay for two different services. All right, so what? And then I wanted. Anyway, you can keep doing the work. Sorry, I was just
Yeah.
figuring out the back end.
Hmm.
Funny. I was like watching a video of the best video hosting platforms, and then my phone just went like ding. I'm like, oh, that's why I opened Facebook like 10 minutes ago, because Aaron sent me something and I wanted to go see what it was. I just completely forgot. So yeah, he's talking about a platform that's not really known, that I never heard of before, but apparently instead of monthly, it's a one-time fee. So that could be worth looking into. If we see like, we can do a little research. If it seems good enough, we just pay once and then we're done.
And what is that?
Good question. Let me see what it's called. It's called Publitio. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll just send you the link in Facebook. And I'm just watching the video where he's kind of like explaining the different things. I don't know if it works, like how it works, or if it's compatible with ClickFunnels, but that would be cool. That's funny. I went on their website and it's like, oh, it's like lifetime deal. It's like, oh, deal is unavailable. It's like, great. Or maybe it's because I'm in Costa Rica and they're like, sorry, we don't, work with you. We don't work with you, your people.
Oh, shoot. I think I have a meeting I'm supposed to be at. Oops.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I have a meeting I'm supposed to be in. That was
Oh.
supposed to start 20 minutes ago that I'm supposed to host. So
Oh, wow. Yeah.